Streaming games isn't anything new, and on top of that, streaming high-end PCs isn't new either. For a monthly fee, companies like Shadow promise to be able to deliver their users 60Hz gaming at 4K or 144Hz gaming at 1080p, assuming you have a relatively fast internet connection. But why am I talking about this? Well, you probably actually aren't asking that question at all, given the fact that you can see the title of the video. Google has announced its brand new streaming platform Stadia, which is set to be available this year. But what exactly does Stadia offer to us that isn't already available on the market? Like I've mentioned, cloud gaming isn't anything new. Whether it's just games or a setup that you're streaming to your device, it's already been done. Enter what I like to call the hub paradox. Over the last, let's say, 5 years, companies have been obsessed with the idea of a hub. One universal idea or place that's implemented to connect multiple platforms together. Google tried this with Google Plus and YouTube already and massively failed when the community made it glaringly obvious that they didn't ask for and didn't like it at all. Like, at all. Seriously, who came up with this garbage? Microsoft followed a similar path with the launch of the Xbox One, trying to deem it as some sort of entertainment unit that can be used as a hub for gaming, TV, movies and so on. Ultimately, that idea never really caught on either, with most users just utilising it as a games console because they already had better options to control their other platforms and forms of entertainment. This is where I believe Stadia comes in and seems like it might finally hit the nail on the head. You may be sitting here wondering what kind of stupid nonsense I'm spouting on, but trust me, I'm part of the same skeptical community that you are. We don't like change, but we do like improvement. You want the experience to remain the same when you're playing games, but more than anything, we constantly seek improvement and a streamlined experience. Whether it comes in the form of better graphics, quicker download times, faster or no loading screens if possible. We're in a digital age where entertainment is no further away than at the push of a button, and at the risk of sounding like a brat, that's how it should be. If we aren't making progress, then what's the point? Google's Stadia platform doesn't take anything away from the gaming experience or force anything upon you that you don't want, which are mistakes that have happened in the past. Stadia is what I'd describe as a game streaming service for the masses, and that at its core is still targeted to gamers. It isn't marketed as some stupid, gimmicky, family-friendly hub or device. It's taken away the parts of gaming that we don't like, but hasn't tried to add things for the sake of adding them. When they showed their controller, I literally sat here and thought, oh, here we go. The internet's going to absolutely jump all over this. Let's face it, this controller doesn't look great or particularly ergonomic in comparison to its PlayStation and Xbox counterparts. But then they announced that it wasn't actually necessary. You can still choose to use your own controller with Stadia if you wanted to. They just happened to offer an alternative that had extras if you wanted it. Forget forcefully bundling the Kinect with the Xbox and then wondering why gamers feel ripped off. Stuff like this should be optional. Look, I'm not saying this is perfect, and I know that I say that in my reviews a lot, but there's just no way on earth Stadia is going to function as well as they demoed it at the announcement. Despite the obvious bumps in the road that will need to be ironed out after release, the platform is going to be very extensive in terms of data usage. It will require a constant and fast internet connection with low latency, which isn't readily available to a lot of people still. Disconnections from the service are going to be an issue, and I can't see any way Google can promise otherwise. The idea on a whole is very much dependent on the user's ISP, something that Google won't have control over. As well as this, there's a small factor of price, and this is the make and break of the whole situation. Google has promised this amazing streaming platform that will allow us to play AAA titles in up to 4K at 60Hz with next to no loss in quality, and allegedly will seemingly transfer from one to the other, but all this will come at a price. And one thing that gamers are more grumpy about than ever is feeling like they've been robbed. Similar services now are priced around £25 or roughly $30. If Google plan to make this a subscription-based service, which I imagine they will, they have to be better than the rest. Not only in what they offer, but how much they charge. Keep the cost low and bring in enough numbers, and this really could be a huge step for gaming, making Stadia the Netflix of the gaming world. Charge too high and you can honestly kiss your customer base goodbye. It is pivotal that this is marketed in the right way, because if it isn't, what sounds like an amazing idea to bring AAA titles to the masses could end up being one of the biggest flops in gaming history, and I hope it isn't the latter. I want to be impressed and I want this to be as amazing as it sounds, but I can't help but remain cautiously optimistic instead of just optimistic. Look, there's a ton of information I've missed out on everything that Stadia is said to offer, so I'd recommend checking out their announcement video using the link below. This video was a bit more serious than my usual videos. Most of the time we're just having banter with game reviews, but if you like gaming content in general, be sure to subscribe. Thanks.